Listen, following football costs enough money already, so don't let your mobile bill mug you off. Rocket Mobile gives you unlimited everything for £16 a month. No nonsense. Powered by Vodafone and Free, plus exclusive content and prizes when you switch on over. Scan the QR code or click the link and put that cash back into football.
Welcome back to AFTV. I'm here with my beautiful niece Kenyah, and she's smiling from ear to ear. Reason being, because Arsenal have won tonight 2-0 against Brentford. Kenyah, what do you make of the performance tonight, though?
It was, let's just say I'm happy the game's done. Like, it was boring. It wasn't like, flowing football, beautiful, sexy stuff, but just, we did what we had to do. We've had a really long week, and I think that type of performance, although it's probably not what every fan wants to see, it's one of them ones where you look at it like, right, you've had a really intense, 10 days or so, and you've come against a team that I said, we did preview together. I said, in my opinion, is the best counter-attacking team in the league. You did. And basically they didn't create anything. They just, they did what we get accused of, which was just set piece. And, we just nullified it. And yeah, it was just,
Yeah, I mean, you're right about what you said about the week. I mean, if you think about it, 4 games in approaching 10 days?
Yeah, 12 days maybe now.
Yeah, so you've had in that time you've had
Spurs,
Tottenham, Bayern Munich, Chelsea, and now Brentford.
Brentford.
So we've only dropped points in one of those games.
Yeah, that's
so
fantastic.
That's a great return.
Yeah.
In terms of the game today, I do think that Arsenal made a really good start.
Yep.
We got the goal, and you're thinking, yeah, man, we're going to go on and really do something here. A bit of a backlash from Sunday. But we didn't take our chances, and it's always one of them, isn't it? Whilst it's only 1-0, you're thinking to yourself, all it takes is one set piece or something like that, and, you drop points again. But in the second half, we didn't quite establish the dominance we did in the first half. Why do you think that was?
I think mostly just because we've had such an intense week. So, like you said, we played against Tottenham. That's a North London derby. It's very fierce, We played against Bayern, one of the best teams, if not the best team in Europe. Well, I'd probably say we are now. We played against Chelsea. Again,
they were until they played us.
Yeah, until they played us. Again, against Chelsea, a very tense team, very physical, but also, again, a London rivalry, a London derby. So naturally, you are going to exert yourself a lot in all those games. And as well, like, there wasn't any rotations in those games. So, a lot of players, rightfully so, will be very tired, very knackered. So I kind of understood why we didn't go like full force like we did against Spurs or Bayern, for example. But at the end of the day, we got the job done. It was, to me, very comfortable. Of course, there was a few maybe. I don't want to say the word.
Was you really that comfortable? And it was 1-0 and 10 minutes to go, and you're thinking, all it takes is a ball over the top and they counter attack, because they had Thiago and all those and Sade on at that time. So you're thinking to yourself, this could go wrong, or were you genuinely thinking, yeah, we got this?
Yeah, I was watching the game with Andrew, shout out Andrew, and I was saying to him, other than the set pieces, have they done anything? I can't, other than that save that Ryan made in the first half. Really and truly, everything was swept out. I actually think we gave them too many set pieces, if I'm being honest. We kind of gave away too many corners when actually we didn't really need to do that.
There was a couple of funny moments actually. Calafiori was it looked like he would rather give away the corner than the throw-in.
Yeah, well, they got the best long throw. Every time that guy threw it in, I was like, oh man. I mean, that was probably a nervous moment. I was like, oh man. And we already know that they did a long throw against Liverpool. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're right. This is probably, in my opinion, the best transitional team in the league. I mean, look how many goals they score on transition. But we just looked it up, like, we just did what we did. I said earlier, I don't know if you remember when we played Olympiacos earlier in the season, in the Champions League. It was kind of the same. We scored early, then we just kind of took the pressure off. Like, we dropped our intensity, really, when maybe we should have just gone for that early second. And then Saka came on and scored the second, which is basically what happened today. I'm not really against it, and I just feel like we've got a really intense away game next. I'd rather see the high intensity for that, rather than us, burst it all out on Brentford. When actually you saw today it was just a routine win. Yeah.
I mean, now it's over, of course we can say that. Couple of injury concerns. I mean, Mosquera, that didn't look good. He came off. I'm not sure if it was his calf or his thigh or I don't know, but he didn't look good. He seemed to be having the word with Arteta as he come off. He had a bit of a concern etched on his face there. Have you heard anything about what might be the case with Mosquera?
No, I haven't seen anything. From when I watched it, it looked like he just landed funny.
Yes,
like,
yeah.
he did look very uncomfortable, and I was just like, oh, Timber's going to have to come on. He did. Like, hopefully he's all right. Same with Declan Rice. I mean, he did an interview after the match, so I'm just hoping that means, it was a bit of cramp, just tiredness. I do think he could have come off a bit sooner, if I'm being honest. But, it's really frustrating because from week one, we've suffered with injuries. It's like we get one player back and another two are out the door. We saw Gabby and Saliba today. They're showing them on the TV and they look gutted. They looked, almost annoyed and frustrated that they're not playing. But also, even more so when they saw Mosquera go down, they saw Nkapia go down as well, which could have really been a concussion at the time, but it wasn't, thankfully. So it is really frustrating. But
We're just watching now as our so-called title rivals, Chelsea, have just been beaten by Leeds.
Yeah. Well, Matisse. In fact, we'll talk soon, Matisse. That's what I'm going to say. We'll talk soon. I had Chelsea fans all week, we're this, we're that. And I said, this is the thing about you guys. You'll play all right one week, then the next week you're going to lose. That's simple it is. You're not consistent. And we're seeing it now.
And Caicedo didn't do him any favours, did he? The sending off has
Look,
now come back to bite them in the bum.
When I said to Matisse, no, Caicedo, we got Andre Santos, Where's Andre Santos in a 3-1, fam? We got Esteval hooked at halftime again. But I'm just happy that we won because we saw.
Well, beating Leeds is not for everyone.
Yeah, it's not for everyone, innit? I got told my striker was a stat padder. Where was some other people's strikers against Leeds? Nowhere to be seen, mate.
But big up Leeds. I know we're digressing, but big up Leeds and big up Daniel Farker because he's been under a lot of pressure recently.
James too, man.
So big up my boy James Toon. Big him up as well, yeah. But anyway, let's get back to Arsenal. So, by the way, I didn't ask you, who do you think were the standout players for Arsenal today?
Yeah, I thought Ben White, deserved man of the match. Didn't even get dribbled past. Only downside I could say about him is I think he gave away 2 corners, but then again, I could understand. That cross he put in, that was just beautiful. It was really nice to see him back on the pitch. I was really against him playing against Bayern Munich because I just felt like that's too big of a test. But it's nice today to see that he got that time to ease back in. And as well, it's another player that we can rely on, especially now that potentially we might not have Mosquera, we might not have Saliba, we don't have Gabriel for a long time. We know that Ben White, he can slot in at centre-back, he can play right-back. And we saw tonight, it was like Ben White of old, it was really nice. Mika Marino pops up with...
He would have been my man of the match.
He would have been my man of the match.
Because when you win 2-0 and you get a guy that scores one and assists the other, then I would probably have leaned towards him for man. But then, having said that, I thought Ben White was really good, especially in the first half.
Yeah. Mika Marino, I would have maybe given it to him if he'd scored that tap-in. But I don't know that tap-in, man, he should have scored that. But other than that, I'd say excellent for him. Again, popping up with a big goal. This guy in the air, he's just fake. I just look at him how do you even score? You can't even detect him. He's just everywhere. I'm just almost shocked every time I watch him. Confused at what he is, and he's just not what we think he is. He's just something completely different, and that's what I like about him. But yeah, I'd say Ben White was my standout player for sure.
You know what? I'm going to throw a name at you. I thought he had a really good game today. Nkapia, I thought he looked good today.
Yeah, won every header, good. Solid. And we're talking about a guy coming up against Igor Thiago, second top goal scorer in the league, who's got 11 goals, come from Club Brugge, tearing up the Prem. Didn't even get a look in when he came on against Nkapia. So, and to play with Timber, someone again he's not played with at centre back, so comfortable. So again, it looks like great piece of business that we've done.
We're not missing Gabriel as many people thought we would do. Obviously, he's a miss.
Yeah.
But listen, Nkapia is coming. Well. He's done a really good job. I love that moment in the Chelsea game with him and Neto. He made the tackle and then they squared up to each other.
He's got the passion of a Gabriel, which you like to see. And as well, apparently he's good at set pieces, so I'm waiting to see that, hopefully.
Yeah, man. Just finally, because we've got to appreciate time. Big game on Saturday. Massive game, actually, especially as given that Villa had won today and they're now in 3rd place as we speak. We go to Villa on Saturday, 12:30 kickoff. Kickoffs that normally don't really agree with Arsenal that much. Away from home, playing against a Villa side which, in terms of the form table, they're actually the form team in the Premier League at the moment. How do you think that game, how do you think we square up in terms of team selection and, the result and everything else?
Yeah, very intense game. They were 2-0 down, but then they pull it back to win 4-3. I think against Wolves, they were quite fortunate. So there is a bit of you know, we can do really well to, you know, push them. And obviously we're 10 times better than Wolves, obviously, as you can see in the table. But again, it's a club that has given us hard times. Even last season when we beat them 2-0 at Villa Park, I think we were the only team to beat them at Villa Park. I'm not actually sure. I think we might have been the only team in the league to have beaten them there. I'm not 100% sure, but it goes to show how strong they are. And even that win wasn't easy. I'd actually say a majority of the game, Aston Villa were on top in that. They've ruined our party multiple times. Unai Emery, we know him well enough, and they're really in form. But also, you know, we're a good team, and I expect us to go to Aston Villa, bring the level back up to what it was against the Spurs, against the Bayern, and go there and win. Because if you go and win now, you're starting to really put out statements saying we've been to Anfield, Old Trafford, you know, Chelsea away, all these Sunderland, all these places. We're getting these away grounds out of the way, and we're still coming back a bit unscathed. Like, that's a good thing to put out there. So hopefully we can just go to Aston Villa and win at all costs. I don't mind.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a really good game. But Kenyah, thanks so much. Yes. Appreciate it. Catch you on the next one.